Welcome to Win Online, our channel for educational videos. This is our new series of stories from Aesop. Let's get started. The Hare and the Tortoise. It was a blustery March day with a wild wind whooshing through the trees, shaking down the daffodils and scattering petals here, there, and everywhere. The Hare stood for a moment on the hill, and then, just for the fun of it, he was off racing across the field, thumping up and leaping as fast and as wild as the wind itself. At the edge of the field, by a sandy path, a group of animals stood watching as he bounded towards them. "Oh, Hare," murmured Mole, "how quickly can you run?" "So swift," cried Vole. "So graceful," sang Quirrell. If only I could run as fast as you," added Mole admiringly. Hare puffed himself out and looked proud. "It's true," he said, frisking about on the spot. "No one is faster than me." Someone gave a dry, raspy chuckle. "Who dares to laugh?" snapped Hare. Everyone turned to see Tortoise, creeping his way towards them, ancient and scaly and slow. "You could never beat me," said Hare, his whiskers twitching in irritation. "I could try," said Tortoise. There was a stunned silence. Hare gasped. "Well then, you're on," he said at last. "I'll see you here in this exact spot next Tuesday. That should give you time to train. After all, I want to give you a chance. We'll race across the field and back." Tortoise shook his wrinkled head. "Let's make the race longer," he suggested. "We could go through those woods, along the winding river, all the way to the great oak tree on the hill." "Ha!" said Hare. "I'll leave you for dust. See you later, slow coach." And with a flick of his back legs, Hare was off through the long grass. Here one moment, gone the next. The other animals looked at Tortoise pityingly. "Poor old thing," they murmured. "What was he thinking?" They shook their heads at him. "Just you wait," said Tortoise, unperturbed. You wait and see." The day of the race dawned. It was sunny and warm, and all the woodland animals had come out to watch, crowding around the starting line. The birds chirped excitedly from their branches, while young rabbits and squirrels squeaked and squealed as they squeezed their way to the front to get a better view. Tortoise waited patiently for the race to begin, but Hare couldn't help himself performing for the crowd. He jumped up and twirled in the air, springing up and down, showing off with glee. An owl stood before them, one wing raised in the air. "I'll start the countdown," she hooted over the commotion. "As soon as I lower my wing, the race can begin. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All the animals joined in the chant, and as Owl lowered her wing, Hare shot off in a cloud of dancing dust. Tortoise crept forward a few paces, stopped, coughed, and crept on again. "Come on, Tortoise," everyone shouted, feeling sorry for him. By now, Hare was no more than a black dot in the distance, bounding away to the woods. "I'm going to win," "Ooh, yes, I'm going to win," Hare sang to himself as he leaped along the path. The breeze rippled through his fur, and as he ran he felt at one with the woods and the wind and the song of spring urging him on and on. Ahead lay the winding river, and just beyond on the brow of the hill the great oak tree. Hare looked back through the woods, but there was no sign of Tortoise. "This isn't really a race at all," he huffed. "Tortoise doesn't stand a chance. Where's the fun in that?" Hare stopped running and lolloped along by the river for a while, lazily sniffing the fresh spring air, drinking in the scent of the river and the wildflowers. He yawned and stretched. "Perhaps," thought Hare, "I should have a little nap. After all, Tortoise will be hours and hours. Then at least I can race him to the finish line." So Hare found a soft, warm spot beside the path, closed his eyes, and drifted off into a pleasant doze. And as he dozed, he dreamed of all the races he had ever won and all the ones he was going to win. Meanwhile, Tortoise plodded on. It was slow work carrying his heavy shell on his back, but he kept moving his stumpy legs, one in front of the other. By the time he left the woods, it was afternoon, the sun slipping down behind the trees as he made his way along the winding river. The light began to fade. A glorious sunset streaked across the sky. "Come on, Tortoise," shouted animals at the finishing line. "You can do it. You can win." Tortoise allowed himself the glimmer of a smile, bent his head, and heaved himself up the hill. "We don't understand," said the moles and the voles. "Where's Hare? Whatever could have happened to him?" "Who knows?" squeaked the mice. "We want Tortoise to win," added the rabbits. "Look how hard he's trying." And they squealed in excitement, urging Tortoise on. The noise drifted down the hill in Hare's ears. They twitched. He opened his eyes, leaped up, and looked around. "Oh no," he cried. "It's nearly night. I've been asleep all this time. The race, the race!" He set off for the finishing line and saw to his horror that Tortoise was nearly there. "No!" cried Hare. "He can't win. This can't be happening." Hare ran faster than he'd ever run in his life. Bounding up the hill, ears pinned back, he raced after Tortoise, determined to beat him, determined to win. Slowly, Tortoise inched towards the finishing line. The air was filled with yells of "Nearly there, Tortoise!" and "You can do it, Hare!" "I can't believe it," tweeted the birds. "Old Tortoise might actually win." His breath coming in great pants, Hare made leap after leap. He stretched out his front paws, flattened his back, and flew through the air, but he was too late. Tortoise was already plodding slowly but surely over the finishing line. There was a moment of stunned silence. Then the animals cheered and danced and crowded around Tortoise, patting him on his shell and whooping for joy. Who would have thought it? What a day! Tortoise beat Hare! Hooray, hooray! This is the photo, and it's beautifully illustrated. The moral of the story: slow and steady wins the race. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to our channel, like, share, and comment. Thank you.